Krishna consciousness through one of the devotees called Radhe Shyam Prabhu, who is the temple president in ISKCON Pune, NVCC. He received his first book from Prabhu, and that book was Discover Yourself. And after that, he was in 2013. 3 years later, that was in 2010, he received this book, and 2013 he got his first Bhagavad Gita as it is, and that was in Canada. So he has served in ISKCON Brampton and ISKCON Toronto. There are two places there, two cities where he has served for 5 years. And he also got connected to his spiritual master, His Grace Shriman Shankar Shandas Adhikari Prabhuji in 2015. He personally served Srila Gurudev in Austin. He has gone there and he served Guru Mataji and Gurudev in 2015. And he received his Harinam Diksha in 2017 in Vrindavan Dham. And now, currently, he is in Gujarat state in India, and he's there for the last 7 years, serving Ahmedabad, Mehsana, and Kalol. So there are these three centers where he's serving for outreach programs, preaching, and community development. So let us welcome Lakshman Prabhu, who's been very eager always to share Krishna consciousness with. Let's chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yes, thank you, Lakshman Prabhu. You can please take over now. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you. So first we will have Kirtan, and then we will do Vaishnava Bhajan, and then we will progress with our topic, life of Lord Chaitanya and the mood and mission of Lord Chaitanya. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Srinath Ji Jaya Gopal Ji Giridhari Jaya Gopal Ji Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman Sita Ram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Maya Subhadra Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Srila Gurudeva, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद कृष्ण कृपा मूर्ति अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। शिला गुरुदेव की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Yes, Prabhu. So
Yeah.
I was.
So your video is not visible, Prabhu. So if you want, you can
I'm sorry,
switch on.
Prabhu.
Your video is not on. Yeah, now it is visible. Yeah.
Acha, acha.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. So I was wanting to sing a Vaishnava bhajan also. Actually, yes, I'll have to take it from this book actually, because if I change the screen, my video is not present. So let's cover this wonderful bhajan, which is, of course, the mood and mission of Lord Chaitanya. Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago. And I must say, I'm very much blessed with this, um, with this topic that we have for this session, because uh, to meditate upon the mission of the Lord, the mood and mission of the Lord, that's the perfection of our spiritual life, really. All right, let's see. This is by our most exalted Acharya, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who has written this bhajan, which is, of course, like I was just mentioning, which is the mood and mission of Lord Chaitanya. Jeev jago, Gaura Chandra bole, Kat nidra jao maya, Pishachira kole, भजी बलिया ऐसे संसार भितारे भूलिया रहिले तुमी अविद्यार भरे तोमार लईते आमी हईनो अवतार আমি বিনা বন্ধু আর কে আছে তোমার জীব জাগো জীব জাগো গৌরচন্দ্র बोले कत निद्र जाओ माया पिशाचीर कोले এনেছি ঔষধি মায়া নাশিবার লাগি এনেছি ঔষধি মায়া নাশিবার লাগি হরি নাম মহামন্ত্র লাও তুমি মাঙ্গি জীব জাগো জীব জাগো गौराचंद्र बोले कत निद्र जाओ माया पिशाचीर कोले भक्ति विनोद प्रभु चरणे पड़िया ते हरि नाम मंत्र लैल मांगिया जीव जागो जीव जागो गौरचंद्र बोले कत निद्र जाओ माया पिशाचीर कोले जीव जागो जीव जागो गौरचंद्र बोले. Okay, now let's look at the purport. Prabhu, just wanted to mention the fact that because I will be changing the screen, my video recording may not be possible because the class is on my phone and I will have to switch screens between that application and the Zoom meeting we are having. So just kindly excuse me for that.
Or if you want, I can present on your behalf. So,
I'm sorry, Prabhu.
shall I present on your behalf the screen sharing, if that helps?
Okay. So I will have to send you via WhatsApp, or how do I send you?
So it's so you wanted to present the Jeev Jago, right?
No,
Song.
no, no. I'm actually talking about the class itself. I have taken notes on this application on my phone. It's like
Oh, is
you
it?
yeah. So, but I don't know if I can send you, and if that will be present on like the
Yes.
screen sharing or whatever.
Or
Just a second.
yes,
Just a second.
whatever works for you.
Yes, Prabhu. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, and we are able to see you.
Yes, Prabhu. So yes, I was talking in regards that if I were to send you the notes, would you be able to share that on this
Yes,
Zoom platform?
yes.
Okay. Let's try that then, because that will be, I think, better because I don't want there to be. Otherwise, of course, you can hear me, but you cannot see me. But anyways, let's see. But first, I will have to. Um, let's see. If I have your number saved, Prabhu. Yes. Okay. I think this should work out, hopefully. Yes, Prabhu, I have just sent you.
Okay.
But anyways, while we are working at that, let's just quickly look at the purport of this bhajan. Lord Gauranga is calling, wake up, sleeping souls, how long will you sleep? In the lap of the witch called Maya. You have forgotten the way of devotional service and are lost in the world of birth and death. I have descended just to save you. Other than myself, you have no friend in this world. I have brought the medicine that will wipe out the disease of illusion from which you are suffering. Take this Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakura says, I fall at the Lord's feet, having taken this Maha Mantra. So this is this is twice the nectar. We are getting the wonderful realizations of a very exalted Vaishnava Acharya, and at the same time we are getting a taste of what is the mood and mission of Lord Chaitanya, right? So yes, Prabhu, I have sent you on WhatsApp. Now I don't know what it'll take for
Yeah,
that
I'm
to be like.
presenting right now. Okay. Yeah. Are you able to see this?
Uh, okay, now, but I'm not sure if this is this the top of the screen or is this the
Okay. It's okay.
yeah, this is not what I had sent you, Prabhu. This is something
Yeah,
else.
this one, right?
And this is Srinamamrita, the nectar of the holy name. Yeah, this is another file you have opened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Uh, so let's start with Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with torchlight of knowledge. I pay my humble obeisances unto him. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So thank you so much, Prabhu's devotees, for giving me this very wonderful opportunity to speak about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I am totally dependent on blessings and mercy of my spiritual master, His Grace Sriman Sankarshan Das Adhikari, and our dear Guru Mataji as well, and the all the Vaishnavas that have blessed me, so that I can be at this very point where I can speak something or glorify Lord Chaitanya. So, seeking blessings of all the devotees assembled here as well. And this is the most exalted topic to discuss about Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya's mood and mission, especially in this age of Kali Yuga. As we know, the Yuga Dharma for the present age is Harinam Sankirtan. And Lord Chaitanya has propagated just that, knowing the fallen condition of this age, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the spiritual practices that were much more prevalent, the different spiritual practices that were prevalent in their respective ages, Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga. Of course, they were also glorifying the Lord with the holy names, but yet there were some differences. As we know that in Satyuga, the meditation was prominent. In Treta Yuga, doing elaborate yagyas was prominent to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in Dwapar Yuga, deity worship, which of course we still see, we witness, especially in all the ISKCON temples, how wonderful deity service, beautiful decorations, and so many different offerings, different bhoga, around 7 offerings, right, to the deities. So beautiful, elaborate deity worship, which is, of course, the um, uh, which is the main spiritual practice for Dwapar Yuga, but it is of course still present in this age. By the mercy of our acharyas, we can witness that also. So that I would also like to highlight the fact that that is also very something very exceptional, something very special, because the level of deity worship that goes on in our temples is no small task. There are dozens of devotees, especially in the big temples, that are dedicated, day in, day out, so that we can have such wonderful darshans. And then, of course, the present age in Kali Yuga, the Yug Dharma is to glorify the Lord through the chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And of course, Lord Chaitanya has propagated this chanting, but that does not mean that it was not there in the Shastra before Lord Chaitanya's appearance. It was already there. But of course, Lord, knowing everything about this age and the position of the living entity in this age, and the love and compassion the Lord has for the fallen conditioned soul, keeping all these factors into account, Lord Chaitanya has propagated the Yuga Dharma, which is, of course, the easiest practice of this age, because all the other practices, meditation, performing yagyas, elaborate deity worship, those those practices of previous ages cannot be performed in this age by an average person. But an average person can, of course, chant the holy names of the Lord. Like we go out for Harinam Sankirtan, book distribution, Prasadam distribution, right? Also in our temples, Sunday feast, festivals, so many opportunities we give to an ordinary person to come in contact with the holy name, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And there is no, like Srila Prabhupada says, there is no um, pre-qualification that a person has to have, right? That, oh, I don't have to be so much learned, or I don't have to be born in some royal family, or I don't have to be from a certain country. There is no prerequisite. There's no pre-qualification you need to chant the holy name, to connect spiritually with the Yug Dharma, which is the chanting of the holy names. So like that, of course, we have so many different references from Shastras in this connection. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his appearance is a very, very special time in this Kali Yuga, in this most degraded of all the four ages. And of course, from the Shastras, we learn that is the golden age, the 10,000 year period within the Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga's duration is of 4,32,000 years, and of which, starting from the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, the the Chaitanya era, the golden era of Lord Chaitanya has already begun. And we are into something like around almost 550 years into it, right? And the all right, where's the screen? I have to. Prabhu, the screen has, yeah. So the mood and mission of the Lord is very easy to understand, right? It's most easy, most straightforward. Like in one of the bhajan, it is mentioned that Shri Radha Bhave Ebe Gora Avatar Hare Krishna Nam Gora Karila Prachar. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but in the mood of his most exalted devotee, Srimati Radharani. Shri Radha Bhave Ebe Gora Avatar. Hare Krishna Nam Gora Karila Prachar. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is propagating this holy name, right? That's his mood and mission. That how these living entities of this age, how can they be elevated spiritually, right? Elevation to Krishna consciousness. And this is the most easy and sublime method that Lord Chaitanya has given us. And of course, I just mentioned the two lines that Shri Radha Bhave Hebe Gora Avatar Hare Krishna Nam Gora Karila Prachar. So just these two lines from one bhajan, they summarize the entire mood and mission of Lord Chaitanya. That Lord Chaitanya is meditating on the devotional ecstasy that Srimati Radharani has for Lord Krishna, right? and to present that devotional ecstasy through the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, right? So, of course, we can summarize it like that also with just two lines of a bhajan. And if we want to go into the details, our acharyas have given us that also through Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Sri Chaitanya Mangal. All these wonderful literatures are there for one who wants to study in detail, right, the mood and mission of Lord Chaitanya. Yes, Prabhu, if we can just slide the screen. And different bhajans like Parama Karuna Pahudvi Jana Nitai Gaur Chandra Sarva Avatar Sar Shiromani Keval Ananda Kanda. There are so many wonderful bhajans. So if even a new devotee, he wants to know who is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and what is his mission, right? What does he want to achieve? These things can be very easily understood through the Vaishnava bhajans also, right? So many wonderful bhajans there are there. Prabhu, if we can just go a little bit up, I'm missing the first part on the screen here. Yeah. So now this is going to be a little bit of different format, perhaps. Kindly excuse me if you are new to this, but I wanted to present like this, just some wonderful realizations I wanted to share. So in this format, I did not want to miss anything out, so I chose to do it in this way. So we have to become good qualified recipients of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu's mercy through taking up the process of devotional service. The living entity being contaminated by lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, envy is suffering endlessly in the material existence. The cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease, the threefold miseries, of course, the miseries caused by mind and body, miseries caused by other living entities, and miseries caused by natural calamities like, extreme winter, extreme summer, earthquakes, so many cyclones and tsunamis, and it's a long list, right? Miseries coming from natural calamities. And in Kali Yuga, planet Earth has become non different than hell itself. Lord is greatly troubled to see the suffering of humanity, and thus the Lord offers us a viable solution that take to Krishna consciousness and make your life blissful. Suffering is for fools who do not take to Krishna consciousness. So, this we can understand that, Lord comes in different yugas with a special purpose in each yuga. In Satyuga, we learn Lord came to protect his devotee, his exalted devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. In Treta Yuga, Lord Ramchandra, he appears. At the end of Dwapar Yuga, Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he himself appears. And in Kali Yuga, although it is the most fallen of all the ages, Lord Chaitanya has come to to present us this message that take to Krishna consciousness and make your life blissful. There is no need for you to suffer needlessly, right? As one bhajan says that not worshipping Radha and Krishna, I have knowingly taken poison. So this is the this is the conclusion. What Lord Chaitanya is presenting is the conclusion of all the Shastra. And of course, in this age, we know people are generally very lazy, very misfortunate. Um, Manda Bhagya, Manda Sumanda Matayo, Manda Bhagya Upadrita. In the Bhagavatam, it is mentioned. So, what Lord Chaitanya is presenting is something that is very easy, something that is very simple, something that is very straightforward. But person has to just take a little interest and inquire take a little interest and take benefit of sadhu sangha, Guru Sadhu and Shastra, right? That's why we have so many exalted Vaishnavas, even to this very date. So many of Srila Prabhupada's disciples are tirelessly preaching, tirelessly traveling around the world. Of course, we have our example of our own spiritual master. How much, at an almost 80 years of age, Srila Gurudeva and Srimati Guru Mata are traveling. This is just to give benefit to an average person, to encourage them, to motivate them, to give them the mercy, the blessings that take advantage of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Become a devotee, make your life sublime. Like Srila Gurudeva says that you have nothing to lose, but you have nothing to lose except for your anxiety. So you're only to gain, right? So of course, I was mentioning about Shastra also. That's why we are doing book distribution, and that's why also the devotees are also putting themselves in the service. That how do we connect an average person to this movement of Lord Chaitanya, this movement of Srila Prabhupada, and and that person becomes fortunate, right? Of course, we have already discussed some about Lord Chaitanya's this golden era in Kali Yuga, right? But we'll see a little bit more. We are so fortunate to be living in the Chaitanya era, which started from Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, and in total, it is 10,000 years within Kali Yuga. Within this 10,000 year period, religion and devotion will expand considerably, because that is the special potential, or rather the potency of this age, Chaitanya era. It is special mercy of the Lord by which this can happen. And of course, we have this wonderful verse from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.26. Sajjana Durjana Pangu Jada Anda Jana Prema Vanyaya Dubaila Jagatera Jana. Translation: the Krishna consciousness movement will inundate the entire world and drown everyone, whether one be a gentleman, a rogue, or even lame, invalid, or blind. Whenever we speak, so yes, let me just talk about this translation first. So this is the great mercy, right? When we talk about the mercy of the Lord, it's not just something we are talking about, something that is in, just some flowery words, or we are talking in the air. No, it's not like that. It's very practical. It's given in the Shastra. We can also understand by the pastimes of the Lord, right? How Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu engages Lord Nityananda, Srila Haridas Thakur, and so many other devotees into this preaching, right? Udilo Aruna, that bhajan also mentions how, early in the morning, Lord goes out for Hari Nam with all his associates, right? All the associates of the Lord. So we see in the pastimes of the Lord, we see the message coming from the Lord, that take to devotional service. And the acharyas are just repeating that. But we just have to open our eyes to this mercy. And when we connect to this mercy, then our spiritual life becomes very enriched, right? We get this fulfilling experience that we could not otherwise get, because this is a very special incarnation. Other incarnations, they came, of course, through the pastimes, through etiquette, right? Through different pastimes, and they had a different purpose. But here, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they are Sarva Avatara, Sara Shiromani, right? They are called Sarva Avatar, all the of all the avatars. they are the topmost. Keval Ananda Kanda, that they are always in bliss of devotion, right? So this is a very, very special avatara of the Lord. And by his own example, the Lord is teaching us. The Lord is even teaching us how to dance in the kirtan, right? So many details of devotional life, all the etiquettes, the Lord is teaching us. So this is a very special avatara. And it's very practical also at the same time, right? It's very practical. And then whenever we speak in the context of our relationship with the Lord, there must be faith, loyalty, affection. Then only can that relationship between the two individuals be pleasing and fulfilling. So as we are progressing in devotional life, we have to increase our faith, we have to increase our affection. Then that relationship becomes very juicy, right? Because until and unless that love is there, right, it's very dry. And just like how we have come together today to glorify Lord Chaitanya, right, to see, understand the different aspects of Lord's mission, this is what has to be done. Then our spiritual life becomes perfect, actually, because we become like those who we associate with. And of course, this is line from another bhajan. Gauranga bolite habe pulaka sharira, hari hari bolite nayane pabe nira. That the great acharyas, they have said that just by chanting the name of Lord Gauranga, that I'm getting ecstasy. And I'm crying in ecstasy. The tears are flowing down my cheek in ecstasy. So this is the great mood of all the acharyas. And just this contemplation about the Lord, that is the perfection of our spiritual life. And again, I have here the same thing, that out of mercy, that the Lord is troubled to see the humanity suffer, his children suffer in the material existence. Thus, Lord comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna himself, in the mood of his most exalted devotee, Srimati Radharani. So, this is also something that we can meditate upon, that how the Lord is um, this most exalted devotional ecstasy, right? This treasure house of love of Godhead, which no other incarnation in the earlier ages had so openly distributed, but Lord Chaitanya is openly distributing, right? Of course, we read the verse from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that there's no a person is qualified, unqualified, whoever it may be, they are from India, Bharatvarsha, outside of Bharatvarsha, doesn't matter, right? And of course, that's why Srila Prabhupada also, he goes outside of India, because there is no such pre-qualification required, that only if you are born into a Brahmana family or a Vaishnava family, then only you can be a devotee of Lord Chaitanya. No, anyone, because the spirit soul is above all these temporary designations of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, right? Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. Of course, these things are required for social order, and Lord Himself has prescribed Varnashram Dharma. But to become the devotee of the Lord is the ultimate thing. Lord Chaitanya himself, he says that, I'm neither a brahmachari, I'm neither a grihastha, neither am I a vanaprasthi or a sannyasi, right? So, Lord is giving us the topmost knowledge. But even, of course, we have to follow those as a matter of etiquette. And because we are in this material world, these things have to be there so that there is a proper social order. And of course, all the varnas and ashramas are ultimately meant so that each person, each individual, according to his psychophysical nature, elevate himself, herself in Krishna consciousness. That is the purpose. But it is for each and every individual. And this just contemplation and our good understanding of Lord's mission, right, is so important that it's so important to inspire us, and so that we engage ourselves more and more into the service of Sri Guru and Gauranga, into this service of preaching Krishna consciousness. That when Lord is coming as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right, so that the suffering souls of this Kali Yuga, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, can become ecstatic in love of Godhead. And when Lord is giving such a practical example, then what is possibly stopping us to do the same thing? Why can't we go out, take some books? Why can't we go out and take out the time to distribute the literature, go out with devotees on Hari Nam, uh, arrange for prasadam distribution, right? Where there is a will, there is a way. So it's very easy, very simple, but we just have to take to it, right? We just have to take to it. And of course, Srila Gurudeva mentions the more you give Krishna, the more you get Krishna. And for a person who has um, relished, this nectar of um, the mood and mission of the Lord, and also we have witnessed, all the acharyas who have the same compassion that the Lord has, because of course they are the pure representatives of the Lord, right? So we have example of our Guru Maharaj, we have example of other senior Vaishnavas, of previous acharyas, so many examples. And we just have to follow in their footsteps, right? We don't have to concoct anything. We just have to follow as it is. Like Srila Prabhupada said, that I have not added anything new, or nor have I subtracted anything, right? So we just have to present as it is. And that is the perfection. Um, the love and compassion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to inform us that this miserable, temporary material existence is not our home. We belong to the spiritual kingdom of the Lord, right? This is the message, that why are you needlessly suffering here? Just make your life perfect by becoming Krishna conscious. Take to this most sublime method, right? And it's not that the devotee is lacking in any way, that if I become a devotee, then I won't be able to do this or that, or it's not like we stop eating and sleeping and having a good time. Rather, the devotee's life is far more exalted, far better, in so many ways, right? In so many ways, that we're just adding bliss to our life. And it's not that we are lacking in any way. Many times people have this misconception that if I become devotee, my life will become limited and I will be bound by so many things. And but it's not like that. The rules and regulations and the process of Krishna consciousness is actually make us blissful, right? Is to make us blissful. But in ignorance, sometimes people think like that. But of course, that's why Prabhupada has started this society, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And one of the purposes is to give association to newcomers, right? Of course, we were all newcomers one day when we were first introduced to Krishna consciousness, and we have our own practical experience and example that we can relate with. That yes, we were new once, and everything was just like okay, they're chanting and they're dancing and they're paying obeisances and they're saying the prayers before you honor prasadam, and so many times you hear the word prasadam in our temples more than anywhere else in any other temple. So we learn all these things. And of course, what to speak about being introduced to our spiritual masters and being inspired by them, and learning from senior devotees that you pay obeisances. So we are meant to run all these programs, do all these services, that so that we attract new and more and more devotees, new devotees to the movement. And finally, you open your eyes that this is what life is supposed to be. Not all that secular conditioning that I was grown up with, and so many things of this material world that has no value whatsoever. But in our illusion, we think that, oh, that is so important, that is so important. But all those things are just totally unnecessary baggage that we've been carrying. We've been burdened by so many unnecessary things. But now, by the mercy of the Lord and His pure representatives, we finally open our eyes that this is the real life, right? Stop drinking the poison. Now start drinking the nectar. So that's the mission of the Lord. Um, that you don't belong in this material world, you belong to the spiritual kingdom. Then Lord Chaitanya wants to awaken the sleeping souls who are caught up in the cycle of birth and death. And of course, the next part is inspired by Srila Gurudeva's song that divorced from our source into chaos we've been hurled. Yet now, if we reconnect, we'll surely save the world. Very beautifully, Srila Gurudeva has presented the philosophy in the song, right? Um, and that's, of course, one of the qualities of a Vaishnava, that he's poetic. Um, Living entity divorced from Krishna ends up with a polluted mind, cannot think of what is to be done and what is not to be done, right? We don't know the do's and don'ts. And that's where the whole philosophy comes of Krishna consciousness. We are free to act in whichever way we choose to live, to perform karma, right? Each living entity is free to act. We have that minute independence. So we have to know in which way to act, what is to be done and what is not to be done, the do's and don'ts. Uh, yes, the knowledge of dharma, religiosity, and bhakti, devotion. So this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has presented. That what is your dharma, what is bhakti, right? These concepts, in especially in Kali Yuga, and especially when Kali Yuga is progressing so rapidly, it's not very clear. People say we are Hindus, but they have no idea of. If you ask an average Hindu, what does it mean to be a Hindu? What is your philosophy? And what is this life? What is life after death? A person hardly knows about these things, and at the best they may have some partial knowledge. But in the disciplic succession that we are in, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, everything is presented so perfectly. Srila Prabhupada's success, of course, because Prabhupada is a pure devotee and he is presenting the philosophy as it is, Bhagavad Gita as it is. So, there in the Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of religiosity and devotion is given. And when something pure is given, it's going to be successful, right? Anything pure has value. And of course, this is the Lord's arrangement that his pure devotee comes. And of course, all this has been foretold by Lord himself, that my holy name will be chanted in all the towns and villages of this world. And Srila Prabhupada fulfilled that prophecy, right? So the knowledge is there in the Shastra, but it takes a pure devotee to reveal that knowledge to us, right? That's what we have to understand and take advantage of that knowledge as well. In ignorance, a person acts in sinful ways, Only when a person is connected with Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra can he act according to the injunctions of the Shastra. Of course, we discussed that already. By forgetting our loving devotional service, our loving relationship with the Lord, the living entity gets all the inferior things. Sorry, there's a typo. Inferior things. Material mind, intelligence, and body are inferior energy, whereas the spirit soul, being part and parcel of the Lord, is the superior energy. Of course, this is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita that the eight different energies, right? Um, earth, water, fire, air, ether, and then that those are what constructs the gross body and the subtle body made up of mind, intelligence, and false ego. These are all the inferior energies. And then what to speak about the material existence in existence itself? Material universe itself is inferior energy. So when we are disconnected with the Lord, we end up with all these inferior energies. But now, what is to be understood is the fact that the living entity, the spirit soul, is part and parcel of the Lord, right? And that's the superior energy of the Lord. We are energy of the Lord, the Atma, right? So this combination of superior energy with the inferior energy is an incompatible combination, right? For the superior living entity to be happy in this material world, um, right? To be happy in this material world. So now what we have to do is we have to spiritualize our senses, our mind, our intelligence. That's the subtle body. And through that, we will also spiritualize the gross body, right? By taking to the process of Krishna consciousness. And by engaging them in the service of Lord Sri Krishna, can the living entity become happy by becoming Krishna conscious? That's why we say chant and be happy, right? It's a very simple thing that when we chant the holy names of the Lord, our subtle body, which is the senses, mind, intelligence, it becomes spiritualized. When we honor prasadam, our body becomes spiritualized. Like Srila Prabhupada so lovingly said in one of his classes, Prabhupada said that you chant Hare Krishna and honor Krishna prasadam, then Krishna is within your grip, Prabhupada says. And with such with such grace, Srila Prabhupada instructs us. So uh, for a non-devotee, this material body is a bad bargain. But for a devotee, by becoming Krishna conscious, he's made a good use of the bad bargain, like Srila Gurudeva many times have mentioned. Yes, Prabhu, if we can go a little further on.
So, Prabhu, I have only this much in your chat.
Okay, no problem, Prabhu. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Then this, what we have discussed today, is what we have to understand very nicely, right? And the thing is that when we are convinced ourselves, then only can we convince others, right? Because if we are not convinced and we are lacking knowledge, then we cannot answer someone's inquiry, or we cannot do our service with the same confidence, with the same enthusiasm as when we are enlightened with knowledge. And this knowledge is divine knowledge, right? There's two types of knowledge: knowledge of this material world, which we learn in our secular education, and knowledge of, of what is the purpose behind this whole material world, and also the fact that there is life after death. There is another world that, when we take to Krishna consciousness, we can qualify ourselves to attain that spiritual kingdom of the Lord. So, like this, very many wonderful points we discussed. And thank you so much, devotees, again for giving me this opportunity. And any questions you may have, you can kindly put forth, and I will try my best by the grace of Srila Gurudeva to answer them.
Hare Krishna, Lakshman Prabhu.
Hare
Karma
Krishna, Prabhu.
pranams. Yeah, I have a question regarding the knowledge of the material world is inferior and the knowledge of the spiritual world is superior. And also, the point in the discourse was about your psychoanalysis or your psychophysical nature. You do what you can. So now, is the knowledge which is of the material world, uh, which is relevant when we are taking to Krishna consciousness, according to your psychophysical nature?
Yes, so the knowledge of Krishna consciousness, if that is how that is relevant to your psychophysical nature, right, Prabhu?
It not only relative to psychophysical nature, but do we, study and take this material knowledge, which is definitely temporary, and Krishna consciousness is the only thing. So then, do we really want to get into the material education field and study a lot, or we would rather get into the brahmachari and that ashram and start?
Yes, yes. Yeah, Prabhupada has talked about this, and Srila Prabhupada has also introduced Gurukula, that were, the traditional Gurukulas of our Vedic tradition. And of course, that is very different from what we have experienced of most of us, at least, that what we learn in schools and colleges. But the knowledge of material world is basically that, how you earn a livelihood, right? And it lacks so much in so many ways, right? Like, for example, uh, when a person becomes a devotee of the Lord, he gets so many wonderful qualities. This is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, that a person who is not a devotee, he cannot have good qualities. So the knowledge of uh, the spiritual knowledge, I mean to say, the knowledge of the Shastra, of the Vedic literatures, is is more important than the material knowledge. Although material knowledge has given us so much technology, and it has made life easy in so many ways, that's definitely true. But at the same time, it has caused many, many more problems. Um, that were not present in earlier ages, when material education, material knowledge was not so advanced. So speaking from spiritual perspective, actually there's nothing greater than divine knowledge, because even with after all the material knowledge, um, if you don't have values, right, if you don't have values, you're still going to be under the purview of lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, envy, right? That's why we see all the pollution going on. In Delhi, they're saying, oh, AQI, air quality index, has reached 500, 600, 700. Everybody is installing these air purifiers in their home. The water is polluted, the soil is polluted. There is, even recently, I watched this video about noise pollution. So, why is there so much pollution everywhere? Especially in India, we are the land of spirituality. All the great avatars, the Lord Himself, the acharyas, all the rishi munis, Srila Vedavyas, so many exalted personalities, all the sages, they appeared primarily on this land. But why are we lacking, in so many ways at the same time? Because that spiritual content of the heart, Srila Radhanath Maharaj also very nicely says that, um, that material knowledge, in context to the question and discussion we are having, that material knowledge, uh, it doesn't fulfill your heart, or in other words, it doesn't make you a better person, right? That's what we have to understand. See, material knowledge makes things better, and his Krish Chaitanya Charan Prabhu also very nicely talks about this, that material knowledge makes things better. It gives us, medical advancement, medical advancement, scientific advancement. But as a person, it doesn't make you better. Only spirituality makes you better. So science makes things better, and spirituality, it makes the person better actually. Because what's the value of all that education if I become a big PhD and I have so much money, I become a big doctor or engineer or lawyer or whatever, but if I am struggling something in my life and I get some suicidal thoughts, and even if I commit and I can even potentially commit suicide, so what's the benefit of that education? And so many examples we are seeing that people are committing suicide because they are so miserable that they cannot take it anymore. So yes, Prabhu. All in all, um, definitely spiritual knowledge is far superior. Divine knowledge is far superior than material knowledge. Material knowledge is also important because we are living in that time and age where a person has to be educated, especially if they want to become a grihastha. And but there also Prabhupada said that we can have our own systems, but of course there comes a question about practicality, that how far we can stay away from mainstream education and still if you want to become a qualified in certain profession, how far we can go. Of course we can face some serious limitations, but then of course we will have to chalk out our own plan and our own ways how a grihastha will earn their livelihood. I hope this answers your question, Prabhu. Yes.
Oh yeah, thank you for so much deep points about how spiritual knowledge is much better and higher, and material knowledge is required. But as there can be limitations for the mainstream right now is going in a very different way. But yeah, it's a choice again. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes,
Yes,
for
Prabhu.
that
Yes.
point.
Yes. Other devotees may have any question, any comment, anything at all you would like to share, any realization also. Bhaktarupa Prabhu, if you may kindly share some.
Lakshman Prabhu, that was very enlightening session about the life and teachings of Chaitanya, and you have highlighted many different aspects touching upon the from the Vaishnava Acharya songs. So that was very sweet. So thank you so much. The devotees, if you have any other questions, you can. Um, so though we are 4 minutes overdue, still you have anything to share or ask, you can ask now or type in the chat. Otherwise, we can end this session. Okay. So I think no more questions. I see. So thank you, Premanand Prabhu, and thank you, Lakshman Prabhu, and thank you all devotees who have joined for the weekly sessions. So please continue to join, and please encourage. You can forward to other devotees as well, members who would like to gain insights from this sessions. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
So
Prabhu,
let's
for this
chant Hare
wonderful.
Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gurudev ki
Jai,
Hare
Jai.
Krishna.
Jai.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.